Hey everyone, Sarah here. We're going to be talking about value today and the things that we value in our lives, the ways that we place value on different things, and the ways that we limit ourselves and our own value and our own worth, what we're giving our attention to, what we're giving our focus to. We live in a culture in a world today where we can just blink and we can have something available to us that allows us to numb out and check out and to completely tune out. And there's so much to be said about how easy it's become to do just that. Recently I heard that people are spending 8 to 9 hours a day on social media. That's a full-time job, but you're not getting paid for it. And what are the things that you're following? What are the things that you're watching on social media? What are the things that they're making you feel? And where are those feelings showing up? How are they impacting you? How are they influencing you? How are they building or are they tearing down the relationships that you have? Are they causing tension inside your body? Are you projecting that tension into all the relationships that you have, into every experience that you have? Are they causing you to what I call numb and run? And there's just so much, and it's just so easy to do that today. And in so many ways, it's celebrated instead of really being looked at for what it should be seen as. Ways that we're running, ways that we're avoiding ourselves. And then we sit there and we wonder, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel this shame, this sadness, this pain, this anxiety, this depression? Why do I feel this disconnection? We live in such a connected world, but we're so disconnected at the same time. It's so easy to connect, but what is it that we're connecting to? Are we connecting to disconnection? Are we connecting to sitting on the couch in front of the TV and stuffing our faces with things, drinking every night because we're so disconnected from ourselves? We're connecting to shows, to TVs, and we find it's so easy to watch the latest series. And we don't even really like it. We're not even really that into it. I mean, it's slow. We don't like the characters. We call up people, we complain about what it's like. But then we find when it comes to ourselves and our own lives, yeah, not really putting any work in there. And then we wonder why we feel the way that we feel. We wonder why things aren't improving, why things aren't changing, why things aren't getting better. We wonder why we're continuing to repeat these same patterns and behaviors that have shown up for who knows how long. And then we use excuses like that's just the way it's always been. And because that's the way it's always been, that's the way it's always going to be. And there's nothing I can do to change it. It is what it is. And then we try and convince ourselves through the words that we use that we're happy with where we've settled, that we're content, and that we should be content and we should just be happy. We should be satisfied, that it's wrong to dream, it's wrong to deserve or desire more, or believe that we could have more, that it could be better, that it could be improved. And we think, well, I don't know, how long is that going to take? What am I going to have to do to get that? And then we convince ourselves that it's going to be long, it's going to be hard, it's going to be painful. And so we go back to whatever it is that takes us away from the pain. TV, the social media, alcohol, the food, the toxic relationships, the toxic thoughts that we have. We listen to them, we believe them, we think they're truths, and in reality, they're lies, and they're things that are avoiding and distracting us from getting to know ourselves within, from getting to believe that things get to be better. And it doesn't have to be hard to get better. Yes, it will require taking action and getting up off the couch and breaking the habits and patterns and behaviors. And there's even more. It goes even deeper than that. What is it that's causing all of that? The thing that's causing all those habits, patterns, and behaviors, thoughts, and beliefs that you don't want to have, the thing that's causing you to avoid taking action and going in the right direction for you to improve you, your life, your quality of it, the relationships you have, are the beliefs, are the beliefs that you have about what you have, about why you have it, about how it became that you had it. It's like this inner programming. The subconscious mind is this program that it runs off that says, well, it's always going to be this way. Let's take it in the context of a relationship or money. Those are the two things that most people fight over. Most people end up in the most pain over: relationships and money. Divorce is about money and the way that it's valued and the way that it's used. We feel used in relationships. We use money. We feel like we're unhappy with it. They go together all too often. And then we develop beliefs about money. It's hard to come by. We develop beliefs about healthy relationships. They're hard to get, they're hard to keep. Just like money, it's hard to get, it's hard to keep. It falls through my fingers, it falls through the crack of my fingers. We have so many stories about it. It's hard to get, it's hard to keep, it's not for me. And then we find that we spiral into these areas of our lives where we're sick of ourselves. We're so over ourselves. And then we hear these inner voices in our head that are not even ours, that were passed down to us generationally. You may hear one of your caregiver's voices in your head that says, walk it off. Come on, toughen up. And that's what you've always done. So that's what you continue to do. Walk it off, toughen up, get over it. Come on, move on. But you feel like you're not. You're stuck in it. You're staying in it. You can't, even though you try to continue to do that, because that's what mom or dad said to you growing up. And so that's what you expect yourself to be able to do, and that you find you're unable to do. I know I should just walk it off. I should toughen up. I should get over it. I should move on, but I can't. And then it compounds. It gets worse. You do nothing and you hope that you can just close your eyes and kumbaya and it'll go away, or you can breathe in and breathe out. And after one yoga class, you'll be so enlightened and you won't have problems anymore. But it doesn't work that way. When you work with it, when you work with the unconscious mind, when you work with the structure of the belief system that you have, it's so much easier and far greater for you to move the direction you want to go, to get things in alignment, to understand that those things that you're doing, those things that other people are doing, and you're doing them because other people are doing them, and it's like socially acceptable, and it's just like what people do. Well, I Netflix and chill, I get home, I relax, I have a glass of wine, and I'm just like, meh, life. What's so wrong with that? What is so wrong with that if you're satisfied with that? But if you're finding that you're in a place where you're not satisfied with that, where you're highly dissatisfied with that, and the way that you've been trying to manipulate and go through things and cope with things is not working for you, you're trying to manipulate yourself into healing and saying, well, I should be able to walk it off. I'm going to go for a walk. And you find you go for a walk and still stuck in my head the entire walk. I don't get it. What else am I supposed to do? And you find that you're so stuck in your shame that you don't even reach out. You don't reach out for help. You have such a deeply embedded program belief that this is the way it is and this is the way that life is. I mean, look around and there's evidence that that's the way it should be everywhere, that that's the way it is everywhere. And then that's the reality. It doesn't have to be your reality. That does not have to be the way that you live or choose to live or what you accept. You've been programmed to accept that life sucks and then you die. Doesn't have to be that way. And so many people accept that it is because they tried to walk it off, or they tried to get over it, and they tried to move on, and they just tried to toughen up and convince themselves that they don't want what they want and that they're happier that way. You've gotten out of a very toxic, emotionally unavailable, emotionally abusive relationship, and then you're in your singleness and you are happy because you can wear what you want to wear and you can say what you want to say, and you try to convince yourself that other people are trying to say that you should be in a relationship, and you're like, what, to be miserable like you? Because you believe that everyone who's in a relationship is miserable, because look at them. I look at them and I look around and I don't see very many examples or models of relationships that are like the one that I want. And you know what? Therefore, I'm going to try and convince myself to believe that I'm happier alone. And I'm really going to like get on edge and defend that belief to my death. Because look at you, and you're wrong if you're trying to convince me otherwise. Is that really the truth of what's going on? Or are you living in a world where you feel like you're just trying to convince yourself to believe the lies because you've seen the other side, you've experienced the other side, you've had one experience of it, and now you have this belief that that's just the way it is and everything. I'm happier like this. I'm going to keep my misery. I'm going to keep my company. I'm just going to keep the story that I have now and just hold on to this and not let go of this and hold on to the belief that it could get better than that. The program that's running the stories are the unconscious beliefs that we have about everything, about relationships, about money, about health, about what it takes to get it, about what it takes to hold on to it, about how long we can hold on to it, about our worthiness to receive it, about our deservingness. Deserve us. I mean, if you look at people who I know this is an example that's used a lot, but if you look at people who win the lottery or come up with a big sum of money, you have internal programs, patterns, habits, and behaviors. So if you were someone who has come from a long lineage and history of it's hard to get money, and you burn it, it burns a hole in your pocket. There are words and there are phrases that we use constantly around that. If it's something that burns a hole in your pocket, that doesn't feel good. Being burned, having holes in your pockets. I know a lot of people spend money on jeans with holes in them, but that's not what I'm talking about here. Where it burns a hole in my pocket. I've got to get rid of it. I've got to waste it. I've got to spend it. I don't believe that I deserve to hold on to it. I'm not going to make smart or wise choices or decisions with it. I'm not going to use it in a way that honors me, that honors others around me, that's good for me, that's good for you, that's good for everyone. I'm going to burn it. What? Burn money? Today's world? Yeah, it's burning a hole in my pocket. I've got it. I got to go waste it. I got to go spend it. I don't believe that I can hold on to it. I don't believe that I can make wise choices with it. And then suddenly it's gone and you wonder where it went. The same thing can be said with everything. You got it. You don't believe you deserve to have it. And then it goes. You do something to destroy it. And then you wonder where it's gone and where it went. Oh, why did I do that with it? That's the thing that I wanted the most. That's the thing that I said I couldn't live without, and now I'm living without it. And I didn't have to live without it. I had it, and now it's gone. How do I get it back? How do I get it back? How do I get better? How do I improve? How do I change my life? How do I not do that anymore? That thing that I've always done that I didn't realize that I'd always done until I realized that I did. And you're probably spinning wheels in your mind or spinning, going, man, why do I always do that? Why does it have to be like that? Does it have to be like that, or can it be different? What's it going to take to get it to be different? All incredible, powerful, valuable questions. What it's going to take is really, really connecting with the core and the root of what's going on, with what is causing that program to run in your mind, and have everything go the way that it goes, especially if you want it to go a different way and you're trying. Like you're telling yourself these old paradigms, these old stories, what other people told you was the way to get through it. Just walk it off, get over it, move on, let it go. When you're thinking, I tried, I don't know how to do that. How do you do that when your heart was in it? But like let go of my heart. I feel like, well, I didn't even want to, and I didn't have a choice. They took it with them, and I don't know what they're doing with it. They're crushing it. That's what they're doing. And it's crushing my spirit. It's crushing my soul. Because now this is just the way it is. So with everything you do, what are you running to? What are you running towards? What are you running from? How is it helping? How is it serving? Or is it just causing more pain? Are you realizing you're wasting your life? You're spending 8 to 9 hours a day on social media, comparing yourself to what it seems like everyone else has, this perfect picture life. All the things that they're sharing, all the things that they're saying, oh my God, it's so enlightening. And how are they so enlightened? And I'm like, this sucks. When is this going to improve? When is this going to change? When is this going to get better? How is this going to get different? And all the circles, all the questions that just circle around in your head, that swim around in your mind, day after day after day, time after time after time. What's running that? What's running that? By the beliefs, the unconscious beliefs you have. We all believe in beliefs. We all believe in beliefs. If you were raised in an environment where you were told, get over it, suck it up, move on, let it go, walk it off, you have a belief that you should be able to. And now you're trying to. And there's also a belief that you're incapable of being able to. And that that's the only way, that that is the way. And that belief can leave you feeling so much pain, so much shame, so much guilt, because you should be able to and you find that you can't. And when you should be able to and you find that you can't, you turn to social media, you turn to numbing, you turn to just tuning out, checking out every night, you turn to arguing with your partner, you turn to arguing with your kids, you turn to food, you turn to anything that allows you the opportunity and ability to distract, to numb and run, to avoid. what's really going on. And what's really going on is there's this internal chaos that's saying, hey, there's another way. And it's like you're hearing that voice and you're going, I know, but shut up. I can't figure it out. Leave me alone. Not now. So there's this inner battle, this inner war, and this powerful inner conflict that you're constantly and consistently feeling. And it doesn't feel good to feel that. What feels good is when you're in alignment with beliefs that light you up, that lift you up, that empower you, that motivate you, that excite you, that energize you. But so many of us are living in a state and in a space where we're not connected with that, where we're connected with the lies that we believe. We're connected with these limiting, negative, unconscious beliefs, and those are causing the stories. Those are causing us to numb and run, to check out, to distract, to project the pain that we experience and feel inside, to hold on to the limitations and the lack and all the stories that support that. And I don't know about you, but I've been there too. And it was not a very fun place. It was an extremely dark place. A very, very dark place, a heavy place. It was not a space that when I was in, I knew how to get out of. And it was not fun. Some of the darkest days were when my mind was in that space. When I didn't believe in myself, when I believed it was always going to be this way, and I didn't see a way out. But in a dark, 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 dark tunnel. And there was no light at the end. There was no little like little miner's light that I'd be like, oh, thanks. I see where I'm going now. No. Darkness, depth, pain. It's like being a little kid and believing there's monsters, and you're the logical adult and you're like, there's no monsters. Let's go to bed. Come on, there's no monsters. Can you sing me a song? Can you give me a nightlight? There's no monsters, go to bed. And feeling this anger and feeling this fear. And there's a different experience here as an adult. You're like, there's monsters. Go to bed. Come on. You're going to be so tired. You're going to be so grumpy in the morning. It's going to start all over again tomorrow. You're going to be tired. You're going to be grumpy. You're going to take it out of me. And I'll be like, I told you so. There's nothing there. But there's a very, very real fear and belief, especially if you're the child in that situation, that there is something there that is dark and scary and it's out to get you. Different belief systems, different patterns, different stories that you're telling yourself. There's the story of the adult who's like, there's nothing there. You're not gonna be able to sleep with the lights on anyway. You're gonna be like, it's too bright, I can't sleep. And then there's the little child that's like, it's too dark, it's scary, there's monsters, it's gonna eat me. Conflict, 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 conflict. Different stories, different beliefs, different paradigms. And that's what happens inside your mind all the time. And it happens, and you're like, why does this happen? Because of the beliefs. If you truly believe, when all the lights go out and it's dark and scary, that's when the monsters come out and they're going to get you. And it's not safe to fall asleep alone. You want to be held. You want to be snuggled. You want to be loved. And if someone doesn't, that you're unlovable, you're unsnuggable. Is that a word? You cry yourself to sleep. You literally fall asleep in a state of pain. And so many of us are doing that now. We're falling asleep in a state of pain. We're numb. We're like living zombies. The apocalypse is here. You don't have to worry about it coming. You don't need to be prepared. You're here. You're living in it. You're experiencing it. It is the experience that you're having of life every day now. Falling asleep in pain. Awake in pain. Pain, pain, pain. Beliefs the monsters are out to get me. Big, bad, scary, dark. How do I get out of this? How you get out of it is connect with what's causing it, the very core and the very root of it. So if you are still living in that internal chaos and turmoil and emotional pain, living with symptoms of anxiety, depression, PTSD, living in the story that's in your head that you just want to rip out of your brain, put something else in there. Something that says you're capable, you're valuable, you're worthy, you're loving. It's okay to trust yourself. It's okay to connect. And that connection begins within. If you're ever going to have it with something outside of you, you've got to have it within you. Otherwise, you're always going to feel like something's missing. You're always going to turn to something when it doesn't work or when it gets hard. It's all too easy to fall and slip and go back into those old patterns, habits, and behaviors, those old stories. There's a part of you who knows there's no monster under the bed, but there's a very real part of you that's like that scared little child inside of you that says that because of all the experiences of pain that they've had in their past and they haven't let go, moved on, walked it off. So when you're ready to get into this internal state within you and to trust it, believe it, and allow it to carry you through whatever it is that you're going through in life without the need to distract or run and numb and avoid things and turn to things that are taking you away from the very things that you should be focused on. I'd love to connect. You might have heard in my other videos, but I have a signature program, Transforming Past Pain to Present Power, where we deeply connect with this. We connect with it internally, subconsciously, through rapid transformational therapy sessions, through deep, powerful inner work, through connecting with the thoughts, with transforming them, rewriting the story that we're living within. You can also reach out if you're looking to connect one-to-one and expedite that process. Whatever you're going through, whatever it is causing that. It's causing you to live in the state of shame and pain because you can't walk it off, can't move on, can't get over it. You're meant to live for more than that. You were not put here to live in that state and then just, that's it. When you're ready for that powerful inner healing and transformational work, that you can live in that state, a state of joy, abundance, happiness, inner peace, connection with yourself, truly understanding yourself and releasing from those old toxic patterns and behaviors that you developed, that were programmed into you, that you've been carrying for far too long. Now I'd love to connect. Sending you guys so much love, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.